A tale from southern Africa. The Horns of Plenty. Once, long ago, there was a great kraal with many huts. Kraal is a traditional African village. Women went about their work and happy children played on the veld. Veld is a grassy land. However, there was one thin little boy who was not happy. The boy's mother had died a year before and he was hungry and unloved. No women in the kraal wanted the trouble of feeding the orphan boy. He was turned away from hut after hut and no one listened when he wept. The boy's father still lived, but he went out each day for hunting. When he came home tired in the evening, he had no time for the boy. The unfortunate little fellow became thinner and weaker. Try as he might, he could please no one. One day he collected some firewood, hoping to please one of the kraal women and be given a meal. But the woman only complained that the bundle of wood was not big enough and beat the boy and turned him away. "I will leave these cruel people and never return," vowed the boy. As darkness fell, he went to the cattle pen and took one of his father's bulls. He scrambled on to its back and rode the huge creature far away across the veld. Veld again is a grassy land. At dawn, the bull and the boy lay down to rest. However, they had not rested for a long when they saw a cloud of dust approaching. "There is a herd of cattle led by a strong bull," said the bull with the boy. "He will challenge me to a fight, but do not worry, I shall be the victor." The thin little boy watched with fear as a mighty bull approached. It pawed the ground and breathed noisily through its huge nostrils. It tossed its huge head and sharp horns and challenged the boy's bull to fight. A ferocious struggle took place. The two huge creatures charged and locked horns and slashed and kicked each other. At last, the bull, which belonged to the boy, triumphed, means became victorious, and their enemy hastened away with his herd. Again the boy and the bull journeyed across the endless veld. At night was falling, another huge bull confronted them, pawing the ground and breathing forth defiance. "Get down from my back," said the boy's bull. "I must fight this second bull, but now I am tired and I shall not win. However, feel no fear. When I am dead, take my horns and carry them with you. Strike them when you are hungry or in need, and you will be given whatever you want." The boy was terrified to think that his friend would be killed and he would be left alone. But he had little choice in the matter. He slid from the back of the bull and watched while a second fight took place. The bulls struggled until finally the friend of the boy breathed its last and slid to the ground dead. The little boy wept. Then, remembering what the bull had said, he took its horns and carried them with him on the journey. Come what may, the boy was determined never to return to his own kraal. As night was falling, the boy came to a hut where he asked for shelter. The owner welcomed him indoors. I will be willing to give you a shelter, the man said, agreeably enough. But I can give you no food. There is famine in this land, and I have but weeds to eat myself. The boy smiled, and touching one of the horns of his bull, asked for meat and drink to be set before them. At once food appeared in abundance, and both the boy and the man ate well. The man expressed gratitude and amazement, and then the two of them settled down to sleep. Realizing the value of the horns, the man determined to obtain for himself. During the night, he hid the magical horns in a corner of his hut and replaced them with some old horns from one of his own dead bulls. In the morning, the boy thanked the man for the night shelter and went on his way. He walked for many hours, and when he felt hungry, he touched one of the horns and asked for food. No food was set before him. The boy realized how he had been tricked. He walked wearily back to the hut where he had slept the night before. He listened outside the door and heard the man touching and striking the magic horns and ordering them to set food and drink before him. But the horns would obey only the little boy. Nothing was set before the thieving man, the man who stole, who became more and more enraged, angry. The boy entered the hut, and the heart of the man was filled with terror, for he feared the magical powers of the boy. The man fled and watched from afar and did not dare to return while the boy remained. So the boy touched the horns and asked for food. A fine meal was set before him. When he had eaten, he settled in the comfortable hut, where he slept well all night, and in the morning he departed safely with the precious horns. All morning the boy walked under the bright sun. At noon he sheltered in the shadow of a rock and ate food set before him by the horn. Again he walked on, and as night fell, he came to another hut. "Will you give me shelter for the night?" the boy asked the man in the hut. The man looked at the dusty, dirty orphan. "Be on your way," he said. "I want no ruffians like you staying in my hut." Verily, the boy walked on until he came to a river. He washed in the cool waters and again touched the magical horns. Bring me fine clothes and brass ornaments with which to adorn my arms and legs, he said. At once these things were given to him. The boy put them on, and arrayed like the son of a chief, he approached the fine kraal. The headman hurried out to greet him. "Welcome, O mighty one," smiled the headman, bowing and calling for a feast to be prepared. The boy stayed in his kraal for several years. Whatever he needed was brought to him by the horns of plenty. As the boy was so obviously wealthy, he was treated with great respect by his new friends. The beautiful daughter of the chief was given to him as a wife, and for the rest of his life the little orphan boy lived in happiness and plenty. End of the story.